Hello, everybody, and this is my guide on how to make $10,000 per month as a beginner with an agency, with a consulting service, or with any kind of B2B professional service. So without further ado, I'm going to get right into it. So this is the 1000x leads funnel. This is the funnel that I used to grow my previous agency to over $900,000 per month. And this is the overall funnel that I teach to about 550 people every month. So the good news is, if this looks overwhelming to you, you don't necessarily need this entire thing just to get to 10K per month. And in fact, you only need probably about 5 of these things, which I'm going to go over in the video. So let's go to the next slide here. So if I was going to start over and try to get to 10K per month, this is exactly what I would do. It's going to work in any country, in any niche, in any service around the world, whether that's in English or German or Chinese or Swahili or Portuguese or whatever. This is going to work for you, and it's a proven process, and all you need to do is follow the steps that I have on the screen throughout this video. So if you never watched one of my videos before, my name is Matthew Larson, and I run 2 different programs that help business owners with lead gen and getting more sales. The first is called 10K per month, and the second is 1000x leads. This will be the 10K per month version. So right now I work with about 175 businesses trying to get to 10K per month. And so far we have a 63% success rate with people who have been in that 10K per month program for 4 months or more, which I think is a very, very good success rate when you take into account all of these scenarios. So for the most part, I think people choose that they want to just set a goal of 10K per month because it's a nice, sexy, round number. Outside the most expensive places on earth like LA or New York City or Hong Kong or Miami or Singapore and places like that, I think 10K per month pre-tax will let you live a very nice, comfortable life as well. Car, house, some leisure, hobbies, that kind of stuff. And it's a great starting point and a worthy goal for everyone. There are many different ways to get to 10K per month, and it's going to be unique to kind of your own journey. So for example, one person might be getting 10 clients paying them $1,000 per month. Someone else who has a lower price service might have to get 100 clients paying $100 a month. Or someone might get 2 clients paying 5K per month each. So there's many different ways to get there. And you first need to determine how much you're going to charge for your service, and then obviously divide $10,000 per month by that to know how many clients you have to get. So if you charge $2,500, you need 4. If you charge $2,000, you need 5. You know, you get the math. This method of doing the math is going to be true whether you're doing recurring retainers or one-off projects. It's going to be easier to sustain the 10K per month long term if you have recurring revenue, but it's not necessarily required. So when getting to 10K per month for the first time, I typically encourage people to get there however they possibly can, even if it is one-off projects. A lot of people treat MRR and recurring revenue as kind of the holy grail, and it is. It's great, of course, but you need to break self-limiting beliefs and show yourself you can do it. And if they just want to pay you for a one-time thing, that's good enough for you. Take it. And that's really my honest opinion of it. One thing I want to get into before we get started is the concept of free work. And should I do free work? And I almost never recommend doing this, and the reason for that is I believe it's very important to break your self-limiting beliefs by charging money for something. And I believe that when you're doing free work, that process doesn't really occur, and a lot of times it's the exact opposite. You say you could only start to get people to engage with you or let you work if it's free or very cheap, and that's what we kind of the opposite of what we want to happen here. So logically or technically, like, oh, I have 5 clients, they're all free, but mentally and spiritually, you know that they're not really clients. You know that they didn't pay for anything. And as such, the number one problem that people have when building an agency or whatever to 10K per month is their self-limiting beliefs. And those self-limiting beliefs do not get broken when you have free clients. It's almost kind of like in my view, a personal humiliation ritual to yourself. The only time I recommend free work is if you're deep in conversation with someone and they're still just teetering on the edge or on the fence. Like they want to do it, but they're just unsure. Like, in that situation, I feel like if you think they could either pay you or refer you to someone, or you gain valuable experience working with them, you might offer a limited amount of free work to push them over the top. But never, ever, in my view, would you recommend doing free work as kind of a blanket mass market policy where you're just advertising, I'll work for free for a case study. I don't think that's going to help you break your self-limiting beliefs, and in many cases, it will do the opposite. The next step is choosing your service, and the best way to choose your service is to follow these specific criteria. So the first one, it should be something that you're naturally inclined towards. So I have some examples up here. If you're naturally a good writer, you might do email marketing or landing page copywriting. If you are naturally artistic, you may do something with editing, YouTube videos, thumbnails, graphic design, that kind of stuff, websites. If you're naturally good with systems and processes, you might do AI automation. Some other ones, if you are really good with, web design, obviously a web developer. If you are really good with numbers, you might do something related to finance, but you probably have to have some sort of license or qualifications for that. And this is going to be up to you. And in my opinion, you should never ask someone to make that decision for you, not even me, because this is a decision that you have to make for yourself. The most important thing that I think for people under 10K per month is to understand is that any service is going to do it. There's not a service on the planet that is not capable of getting to 10K per month. It's very, very important. What is the best service? At this point, any service. And to suggest otherwise is untrue, and is the result of self-limiting beliefs. You can get to 10K per month with absolutely anything on the planet. The things that people get to 10K per month in my program are kind of insane sometimes. So whatever service you choose, you're going to have to stick with it. So you want to choose, get it in your mind that this is what you're going to do. Make a resolution to stick to it for an entire year and follow what I'm going to show you in the rest of the video, and never, ever give up or change. Every time you change your service, you're essentially starting at zero. And outside the self-limiting beliefs, I think people changing their service is the number one reason that they can't get to 10K per month. They just, try it for a month, don't get to 10K, quit, start over, repeat the process. Once you've chosen your service, you now have to learn how to do it. So this is the process that I follow when trying to figure out how to do something. The first thing I do is identify the top 10 YouTubers who teach whatever it is that I'm trying to learn, whether that's YouTube, AI automation, Facebook ads, whatever. And then I would make a spreadsheet and I would sort all of their videos by top performing and link the top performing ones for each for a total of 100 videos. I would probably take the name of the video, the link, and perhaps the description in this spreadsheet. The next is I'm going to look for patterns in the titles, topics, so on. So if I'm trying to learn Facebook ads and all 10 of these people have, how to make good Facebook ad creatives as their most popular video, like that is a pattern. So the next thing I'm going to do is download the transcripts of all 100 of these videos. And you can either do that by copy and pasting from actual YouTube itself, or you can do some sort of Google extension. There's quite a few for them. And I'm going to put the transcript in the spreadsheet inside a Google Doc with each video. The next one I'm going to do is, if I saw that one where it's like how to make good Facebook ad creatives in the example, I might take the transcript from all of those, upload it to ChatGPT, and ask for the most important parts, the things in common with all 10 of them. The next thing I would do is schedule 1 hour per day in my calendar to practice. So in this case, it would be practicing making Facebook ads, practicing design if they're static, practicing making and writing hooks, and speaking on camera if they are not. And then what I would do is practice doing what they teach. So if they say, here are the 5 steps, do those 5 steps exactly as they said. Once you have done that and seen if it works or not, then you can experiment with your own ideas. But in this case, because you probably don't know that much, do exactly what they say. This process is going to give you a very high degree of competency within about 20 hours. And if you're not willing to put in these 20 hours to learn, you're not going to make 10K per month. And there's no such thing as getting something for nothing in life, and that's just the thing that you need to understand. The next thing is we need to identify the 5 things that we need to succeed. And we shouldn't worry necessarily about all of these things, like I said earlier. We don't need to worry all about that when our goal is to get to 10K per month. Maybe if we want to get to 100K per month or $1 million a month, we're going to have to start worrying about those things, but not yet. We need to keep it simple. So all we need to keep it simple and get to 10K per month is 5 sets of things. We need 3 skills, we need 2 offers, we need our assets, our outreach and our content, and proper habits. And I'm going to go over all of those shortly. These 5 things are going to get you to 10K per month and beyond. You'd probably cap out at 30 to 50K per month if you just did more of these for a longer time. So you don't need to worry about anything else at this stage. For the 3 skills, 2 of them are going to be decided for us and universally applicable, but the other one is going to be decided by the service we choose. So the first 2 that everyone's going to have to get involved with are writing and sales. So no matter what you choose, you're not going to get away from the fact that you need to be able to write clearly and to sell people, leads to clients. You just can't get around it if you're trying to make 10K per month. If you don't want to do those things, have fun making less than 10K per month and working a job type thing. It's just no way around it. And the third skill will be decided by what your service is. So if you are an accountant, for example, you are going to need to have the knowledge, the qualifications, that kind of stuff to do accounting, but you're also going to need to be able to write and to sell, businesses to become your clients. If you chose email marketing, you're going to need to be able to write and sell leads into clients, but you're also going to know how to do email marketing, the deliverability, copywriting, design, flows, that kind of stuff. If you chose ads, you're going to still need to be able to learn to write and sell, but you're also going to know how to make good ads, whether that's video ads for Facebook, the hooks, the body, the editing, that kind of stuff, or designing static image ads or Google ads, whatever. But these are the 3 skills that everyone's going to have. 2 are going to be applicable to absolutely everyone watching this video, and 1 will be decided by the service that you choose. The next thing is that we need to have 2 offers. We want to have our main recurring service, which is what everybody thinks about, but we also want to have an intro offer. And both of these are very, very important to getting to 10K per month, and I'll explain why. The intro offer is particularly important because it is less risky and less commitment on behalf of the buyer. So whether your main recurring service is expensive, recurring, huge commitment, your intro offer is going to be a one-time, narrow scope, usually cheaper, so they can kind of test you and see if you know what you're doing. A good intro offer is key for all businesses, regardless of the size, but it is very important for those under 10K per month, as they usually don't have the track record to be able to sell some super high-priced recurring service. I like to think of the intro offer as a mini version of the main recurring service that they can try and see how good you are, and then feel confident paying you monthly basis. An example of this would be if you do email marketing, you might set up their flows as the intro offer. If you do conversion rate optimization, like I used to do in the past, you might have a one-time landing page as the intro offer. If instead of getting them to do your Facebook ads recurring, you might just make them 3 ad creatives as an intro offer. When you do this and you think of yourself in the buyer's shoes and make an offer that would be attractive to someone who doesn't know you, doesn't trust you, and you don't have a track record, you'll make so much more money this way, not only as a beginner, but throughout the entire course of your business career. It's just so powerful. The next thing is the assets. And similar to our 2 offers, we need to create a lot of assets to make up for the fact that we don't have much of a track record. Our intro offer took care of that and is a less risky and less commitment version of our main recurring service. But now we have to do that with assets, and we need to create lead magnets, sales presentations, mural board graphics like the one you're watching, video sales letters, a good website, email flows, examples, and a portfolio. The reason we need to do that is because we don't have much of a track record, and these things can build us up and lend us some credibility and make us look like more of an expert, because at the end of the day, experts have assets that they have and they can pull on, and it just makes you seem much more professional and like you know what you're talking about. You can use these different assets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, to fast track the process of looking like an expert. And you're also going to accelerate your learning as you're going to learn more, and you're going to refine your kind of ability to communicate by building these assets. The next thing is outreach and content. And these are the 2 ways that we're going to get clients at this stage. The 4 overall ways to get clients are paid ads, our content, our outreach, and our partnerships. But at this stage, we don't really have the money or the knowledge needed to succeed with ads. And it is unlikely that anyone is going to partner with us if we don't have a good track record. So it's basically outreach and content are 2 options. We need to be reaching out to at least 500 people per day while creating and posting content on YouTube, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and that kind of stuff to build ourselves up as an authority in the mind of our target market. Experts have content. People who know what they're doing have content. It's a great way to get people to learn about you and to trust you. Having a lot of content is also going to make us more likely to get a response from our outreach. Who do you think is going to get more responses? Someone who emails you out of the blue, who has 0 followers, no content, or someone who has a few thousand followers and tons of content? It's just so obvious, the answer. And content is going to make our outreach a lot more effective. Outreach and content are both free and very cheap, but they take a lot of time, but that's what we need right now. We have time, we don't have money, so we're going to have to trade our time to do outreach and to do content because we can't afford ads and no one's going to partner with us at this stage. This is what we specifically need to do for outreach. We want to buy 30 cold email domains. If you buy the right ones on Namecheap or something like that, or spend a little bit more money on GoDaddy, probably wouldn't recommend Namecheap. I don't know why I said that. This is going to cost about $750 per year. You're going to buy 30 cold email domains, and this is also going to do about $600 per year. But if we want to make $10K per month, $600 and $750 per year is worthy cost. We want to set them up in Instantly, which is a cold email software. We're going to export a list from Apollo. We're going to clean that list, make sure there are no dead emails on it using Million Verifier. And then we're going to upload these contacts to Instantly and start sending them. And that's going to be all automatic. We're going to email people in our target market. And if we get a response, we'll get a notification. The next thing we want to do is 60 minutes of manual DMs and prospecting per day, whether that's on LinkedIn or Twitter or Instagram. Wherever your target market hangs out the most is the one you should choose. We want to reply to people who reply to us as fast as possible, get them on sales calls, and then pitch our intro offer. Our intro offer is very key here because it's low risk and low commitment, and outreach is probably like the least authoritative thing you can do because, they didn't ask to be contacted. They don't know who you are. They don't trust you, and you just need to have a great offer, which is going to be your intro offer. These 10 things are what we need to do for outreach. And if we do this, we will succeed. And if we don't, we won't. And few things in life are simple as that, but this is one of them. In terms of what we need to do specifically for content, we're going to create 3 posts per day in Hypefury for Twitter. We're going to cross-post them to Instagram and LinkedIn so you can have content everywhere. This is just a setting that you can do in Hypefury, so it doesn't take any extra time. The next we're going to do is create 3 YouTube videos per week going over tutorials or what you learned. If you don't feel comfortable with this, I recommend tutorials like how to set up Webflow, how to set up Klaviyo, how to set up Hypefury. It's just going to give you good practice while not necessarily needing you to know what you're talking about. And you can kind of just show people what to do, and you get a lot of views that way. The next is to write 3 emails per week with valuable, actionable information. What I would recommend is short emails and based on what you learned, because you're going to be learning a lot in this process, and what's obvious to you or what you know is not necessarily what everybody else knows. So just a paragraph or 2 about what you are learning and how it can be applied to their business if they want to. And then the 5th thing is spend 1 hour per day creating assets like lead magnets, documents, guides, that kind of stuff. Again, this is what we need to do for content. And if we do this, we will succeed. And if we don't, we won't succeed. The next thing, and the 5th or the final one of those 5 things we need, are habits. So habits are going to make or break us in our quest for 10K per month. I'm going to give you the habits that constitute 80-20 rule for this. So the 20% that get 80% of the results. I like to do these in the order they're presented each day. So the first thing I do is exercise for 20 minutes to get the brain turned on and, take care of the health. The next is write 3 tweets and cross-post them automatically to Instagram and Twitter or LinkedIn. The next is we're going to respond to cold DMs and cold emails that we have received. Like when we're cold DMing people and they reply, we're going to reply to these. The next is we're going to do 60 minutes of prospecting, which is the DMs on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. We're going to do 60 minutes of content creation, prioritizing YouTube. And we're going to finish off by planning out the next day the night before to give ourselves clarity and then getting to bed early so we can wake up on time. These are the 7 habits that, the 20% of things you could do that will get you 80% of the results. And when you're starting out, you need to work harder to generate momentum. If you get these things done every single day, you will make 10K per month. You just can't have any excuses. We're wrapping up the video here. There's 2 more points that I want to make. A big concern most beginners have is what if they don't have case studies or examples of their work? And this is, I would say, inevitable when you're first starting. What I usually tell people is there's nothing stopping them from creating examples. They don't necessarily need to imply they did them for a client, but having examples can show off your skills. So if you did email marketing, for example, there's nothing stopping you from making 10 or more different designs for either fictional companies or real ones without saying that you were hired by the real ones. Like if you made some for Nike, you don't want to imply that you were hired by Nike. But most people don't do this. And I think it comes down to most people are too lazy or proud to do this. And that is why they fail. They say, oh, I'm not going to work or do this for free, or, why would I do this? Always create examples, in my opinion. The case studies will follow when you get real clients, and getting real clients will be 10 times easier for you when you have examples. The final point I want to talk about is how long will this take? That is what everyone asks because, quite frankly, most people have the attention span and perseverance of a goldfish these days. If you do everything I said here and repeat the outreach and content tasks every day, you can expect to achieve 10K per month within 4 months. If you don't do that, then I have no idea. You probably will never, is the answer, I would say. If you can't keep this up for 4 months, you don't deserve to change your life and make 10K per month. And anyone telling you otherwise is either lying or has an ulterior motive, like a get-rich-quick scheme that they're trying to sell you. In life, for every effect, there is a cause. And it's no different with making 10K per month. If there's no cause, which is doing all this stuff, there will be no effect, which means making 10K per month. So I hope this video was helpful, and I hope that you're going to make 10K per month by following these steps. If you liked it, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.